will point out when we get to page 30, page 40. Page 40 shows your, at the bottom there, it shows the contribution percentage, how much you're obligated to match on their pension, on that. And what I'm wanting to point out is back in 21, it was 19.3%, then it jumped to 21, 23, now it's dropped back down to 19.7. So, and then this year I think it's 18.6 or something like that. So it's going back in the right direction on that. And then on page 44, on page 44, in 23, you had to match 3.39% of the OHEL, which is the insurance portion. And then in 24, 25, and 26, it's a 0% match on there, which is that portion is performing favorably to the market by the state at this point in time. Page 46, real quickly, is breakdown of when we went over the schedule of revenue and expenditures earlier. We had system operations, general operating, and general administrative. That is the breakdown of each category of where the money was spent on expenditures. And then you have the last report, which is the report on internal control and compliance. And it gives you the definitions of material weaknesses, deficiencies, and significant deficiencies. Pleased to report that there was no deficiencies, weaknesses, or significant deficiencies in this audit. And there was no instances of non-compliance reported in this audit. That's what that report says. The other report that you have from me, the letter, basically tells the same thing that we just went over. Talks about what the aspect of the accounting practices of the utility system is, what the most significant items are, that there was no difficulties in performing the audit, that any corrected or uncorrected misstatements has been made. There's only 2 entries that were to be made, and those entries actually come from the state of Kentucky. It's nothing that she would have really known because they sent it in their pension report, and it's to be included inside there, and that's what those 2 entries are. There was no disagreements with management. The representation letter has been signed, and to our knowledge, there's been no consultations with any outside auditors. There's no other audit findings. Any questions?
Anybody have anything for Jeff?
Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I think that's good. Like I said, I'm the type that I ask Sabrina, and she'll either ask you or I'll call you or whatever, but I think we're good. I looked over it yesterday, get it right out, and don't particularly have anything. You know, I think there are a couple of areas that we could note operationally, but you know, like I said, we got this upcoming wastewater treatment plant that's going to add a significant amount of those that category. Yeah. Will add a lot of debt service to us, but it is what it is. And but
the thing is the debt is going down each year.
Yeah.
That's why those long-term payables keep going down.
Well, I know. Yeah, we probably look like $600,000 in deduction, you know, principal.
Right.
And then I guess the other thing I would say is, you know, I looked at customer receipts compared to last year, and we actually collected less money. That could be a couple of different things. We had some big water customers lose, but doing it, you know, gas is going to fluctuate from year to year depending on how warm the weather is.
And keep in mind that there was one of the drops is because you did lose one of your larger factories last year, right, in that year on there. So yeah, when you look at your revenues, compared to the prior year revenues being down a little bit, that is directly attributable to that loss of that industrial customer.
But that cash flow statement, I guess that's on page
I handed my report back to Sabrina. The cash flows, it should be on about 14 or 15. Here's your cash flow statement. But I guess where I'm talking about, if you go back to your MD&A, Bob,
Yeah.
when you go back to page 8, when you look at your operating revenues,
Yeah.
that's directly from customers.
Yeah,
Yeah, and in total, you can see it went from 7.1 million down to 7.5.
right.
And that's directly attributable to that industrial company closing and leaving.
But we've weathered that storm
Yes.
reasonably well this,
Yes, because it's, we thought it was gonna be more like a $500,000 or $600,000 reduction in revenue, and it's only ended up being 200,000.
okay, anybody else have anything? Appreciate your trip over. Wish you luck for the rest of this tax season, auditing season.
I'll be back over here in a week and a half.
Yeah. All right.
All right,
Thanks.
you have a good one. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks.
We did not have audio for probably the first 15 minutes, a little after that.
Of his, yeah.
Yeah, the board was turned off in there, the
Okay.
actual record, but the board was on, but the record button was off, and I was trying to fix it out here, and so I just went and got my SD card and got in there, I realized what was wrong with it.
Will you have anything to listen, I mean?
I've
at
got
all?
it recorded.
Okay, all right. Next item of business is the election of officers. It happens as new terms come about each year. This is the first meeting in March. Basically, I am the chairman currently. Mr. Ferris is the vice chairman. And Lori, I think, is the secretary for us. So the floor is open for election of officers.
I nominate Bob for chairman and him to remain in his position.
Any other nominations? I don't know, how we normally do it. We normally just do it.
Yeah,
if
if
we're
they
keeping
leave them the same, we just do it all in one motion.
Yeah.
We're not
Wanna
gonna
do-
leave them the
is that
same, then
okay?
we'll need to do them.
You still want to be vice chairman, Gavin?
I will.
All right,
I make a motion, we just do the same.
all right. Sure, second to that. Second by Mike Miller.
Keith, we'll give it to Keith.
Yeah, we'll give it to
It's first-
Keith.
it's first
Yeah,
official act.
First
There we
official
go.
act there.
That's right.
Yeah. Keith seconded. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Thank you. Next item is Superintendent Bruce requesting approval to surplus the 1998 580 Super L four-wheel drive Baco, serial number JJ0258552. Anything you want to say about that, David?
We bought the new John Deere, so that was kind of the plan to buy a new one. sell
Will you
the
be
old.
doing that, deals?
Yes.
Is there a motion to approve Superintendent Bruce's request? Mayor Miller makes a motion,
I'll second it.
second by Mr. Blaine. All in favor?
Aye.
Under unfinished business, we've been keeping project updates, but the weather's been so bad, it's really not nice to talk about it. It's, any news on the gas project?
The project they got going on out at the new jail, they've got the main done and got gas on it, but they still like a couple services put in, having that done. And as soon as they get that, they'll move back to Wallace. Some of them's had to pull off. There's a cut on the south side of West Lake Drive over here that I guess the engineers missed whenever they relocated, so they've had to go back and relocate the gas, put it deeper, and they're gonna have to relocate some of the water, and I think maybe even a manhole. So,
Any questions about that project? I guess the next, have you talked to Matt Baker or Adam Scott lately?
talked to Adam last week, but I had spoke with Matt lately.
All right, that's on the
They
wastewater
was-
treatment.
Matt and Adam was supposed to come down either today or tomorrow.
Okay, and then this next item of business then, I guess would relate to another project update, the bypass sewer project. lift station project. We did have some of that money left over, and we have approval or within the guidelines of that program that we need to spend that money, or else we'd have to give it back. And so this dump truck that he's looking to buy is going to get paid by those funds, basically, but we need to authorize Superintendent Roof to go ahead and actively look for and purchase a used dump truck. We had given him on January 15th in our meeting to advertise for bids. Since we're going to stay under the $40,000 bid limit, we're not required to do that. So I think we just need to clarify and make a motion to authorize Superintendent Roof to look for it the other way.
And let me add to this, Bob, we're gonna buy a dump truck and a road tractor.
Right.
Replace both. When I had asked approval to bid this out, we hadn't actually looked for any, and so we started looking, and everything we're looking at, we can buy it under the 40, and, with buying used, I talked to Dave about it, talked to Adam about it, and everybody recommends just doing it without bidding it, because you can pick what you want, and you're not gonna get something that stuck with something that you don't want.
I'll make a motion to allow the superintendent to do so.
Motion by Mr. Ferris. Is there a second to that?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Blaine. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Any other unfinished business? All right. Floor's open for any new business. Anyone have anything? No? All right. Next chamber lunch is March the 12th at noon. Please let Lori know no later than Monday if you come to attend that and represent us. Also, you've got a couple things in your packet that I want to point out. You have the budget report or financial for the 7 months ending Saturday, January 31. That's for you to look over and approve at our next meeting. Then also, Lori left us a updated flow chart of the system. It's good that she's done that because it has Keith's name on it now, and then that's a good information for you, Keith, to let who's who in this department might answer some questions of like, what do they do for us?
Yeah,
So,
and I wasn't sure if I'd give you one since Monica went into utilities and Marcia switched, so.
probably had not, so.
That might be another change that's on there that wasn't on the last one.
You know, one thing I talked about at one time that we thought might be a good idea, though, is to, I know a lot of people don't like to have their picture made, but maybe just for our internal purposes, having a little internal booklet that has like a little photo of everybody that we can kind of put beside a name. You know, make this about a 5-page book that has a picture by it. You know, I know I should do a better job of that, but, you know, occasionally when we have some turnover at the water plant, I ain't been out there in several months, and you go by there and you say, hi, how you doing?
Me and Sabrina had this conversation this morning, because we're like, who was that? There's so many faces, it's hard to remember them all.
So do we need to maybe kind of make somebody own that project?
I'll take pictures. It doesn't bother
I mean-
me. I don't care.
Well, you can delegate it, but you put somebody in
Yeah,
charge of that.
okay.
I can take ownership.
We'll
of
make
it.
it a collaboration, David, we'll get it.
I'll help you, David.
You want glamour shots or?
I'll take
No, I don't need glamour shots.
Phil,
Maybe,
hey.
maybe in a way where that's what they're gonna look like when I see them.
Oh, okay,
If they wear a cap every day,
Yeah.
have them have their cap on.
All right.
We got filters on the phone, we make it.
That's right. Send it through AI and
Yeah.
do caricatures.
I'll put me and you some hair on there then.
There you go. That'll work. I need it. I need it.
All right, anybody else have anything? The floor would entertain a motion to adjourn. Mr. Lucas, would you like to make that? I'll make that motion. All right, good job.
Second.
Second, Mr. Ferris. Any discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.